Aren't you a little short for a Resistance episode?
How you get so big getting food of this kind?
Hello, welcome! Fresh off the release of the Resistance mid-season trailer, I'm getting caught up on my Resistance stuff, and I finally watched the Resistance shorts. So if you weren't aware of this, Resistance shorts are not actually the waterproof trunks that Kaz wears on the Colossus, but rather they're a series of animated shorts that were released on YouTube in the US that are related to Star Wars Resistance. Apparently, I asked on Twitter to some of our non-US friends, and I guess they have been released but are difficult to get outside the US. If anyone has a link to, like a legal link to the ability to watch this for our non-US friends, please leave it in the description. I'll pin it, that way people can find it easier. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and kind of review. I'm going to do a quick breakdown of what the different shorts are, and then I'll kind of give you a spoiler-free opinion on the shorts themselves. So there's several of them. The first one is the search for Kaz, which involves BB-8 running around looking for Kaz. It's kind of funny because Tora's pet Buggles follows around and seems to enjoy following him quite a bit. There's one called Dart and Cover, in which Kaz and friends play darts with none other than Bucket himself, and Tora is there, and that one was pretty amusing. Nico's Reward is the third one, where Yeager takes Nico out for lunch, and then Nico's lunch destroys half of the Colossus. The next one is When Thieves Drop By, where we hang out with Orca and Flix and their very interesting security system that's very reminiscent of something we see in Return of the Jedi. Next, we see Orca and Flix again, this time in a short called Treasure Chest, where they get a neat little box from Sonara, and it turns out there's bombs in it, and hilarity ensues. Then we have a short called GL-N, once again with Flix and Orca. This time they give a pit droid the equivalent of droid caffeine, and more hilarity ensues. Next is Bucket's Quest. In this one, Bucket loses his helmet, and he goes on a great hunt to try to get it back. Then we have Unmotivated. In Unmotivated, Hype takes his droid to Flix and Orca to try to get his motivator corrected, and there's a big whoop-de-doo in the shop, and Hype gets really worried. Then we have The Need for Speed, in which the aces all race for first place, is just kind of a ranking system of how the aces work. Tora and Hype seem to have a very friendly rivalry in this one. Next is 60 Seconds to Destruction, and this one was actually really cool. It shows the aces at work. They have to slow a ship from crashing into the Colossus, and we see how they work together as a team. Then we have Buggles' Day Out, in which Kaz has to pet sit, and it goes about as well as you can imagine. And then finally, there's the rematch. In the rematch, Tora is helping Kaz repair the fireball, and Kaz is playfully joking around that it will be a rematch between the two. So as you can see, there's quite a few that have already been released. As for if they're worth watching or not, I guess it depends entirely on how you feel about Star Wars Resistance. I enjoyed them greatly, but I've been enjoying the series greatly. There's no real tidbits, there's no clues to The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi in them. They don't advance the overall plot of the story. They are just vignettes with characters. Now, what I liked about them is we got to spend time with characters we haven't spent a lot of time with in the series, like Bucket, or we see some of the aces speak for the first time when we haven't really seen them interact at all much in the show. So I liked it because I wanted to spend more time with the characters that I already liked. If you don't already like the characters, I'm not sure this will do a whole lot for you. Most of them are silly and comedic. There's really no dramatic points in any of them, so if your problem with the show has been that it's too humorous or too childlike, I would skip the shorts, to be honest. They're really not going to be what you're looking for. If you're only watching Resistance, you know, for the kind of First Order or spy story, this largely has very little to do with that. But if you've been enjoying the kind of sillier, wackier, and in-character interactions of the show, I definitely recommend watching them. Ultimately, even if you're on the fence, I would say just give it a try. All the shorts are between 1 minute and 2 minutes long. Watching them all together takes about the time it would take you to watch a single episode of Resistance, so it's not a lot of time out of your day. They're on a convenient playlist, which I will link to below. So I personally would say just give it a shot. But with that, I am so excited. Resistance comes back January 13th. The trailer is out. Where the show is going looks absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to see more from the show. Please leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of these shorts and what you think about Resistance going forward. If you're not already, follow us at Porthaven Forums on Twitter. Visit port-haven.com for even more. Please consider joining our Discord so we can talk about Resistance even more. And until next time, keep it real and fly casual.
Cooking candy, Bob!